Hello, everybody. It's 7:15 p.m. Central Time on the 12th of June, 2025. It's Thursday night here in the USA. Hope you're doing well. Getting on to do another update for everybody, bring you up to speed as to what's been going on. We've got a fair amount of activity taking place. The forecast for this week is calling for a significant increase, or at least to go up by one magnitude, and we need to dive into what's happened. The Northeast USA got hit with a 3.0 earthquake, 2.8, somewhere in that range. And if you go look it up, there's an oil and gas pumping operation there, all the way up at the Pennsylvania New York border area. We'll talk about that. Also, 4.5 striking at the pumping operations in Canada as well. So a little bit of pumping operation action going on, and then multiple twos and threes striking down in Texas. Those are also at oil and gas pumping operations. Southern Colorado oil and gas pumping operation, here at Wyoming oil and gas pumping operation next to a mining operation, and then we get up into the Chalice Reserve. It's a fair amount of activity to talk about at pumping operations. So I guess we'll start up in the Northeast USA, and then we'll work our way back around to the West Pacific. So let's turn on a display capture so you can see this just a little bit better. Get the info from the USGS. Forksville, Pennsylvania. I already looked it up, so I kind of know what's there. I didn't know that this was there when I first looked it up when the earthquake struck. So let's go see what's going on. And if I sound like my voice is a little bit rough, it is. I picked the wrong time to come back online. I don't know what's going on with that. I got my coffee here. We're trying to open up the sinuses. We'll see how that goes. I'm taking several sips. So look right here next to the earthquake epicenter. We have oil and gas drill points. These are areas that we've talked about in other parts of the country, but in this case, oil and gas, we're talking about a fair operation that's, again, not well known, but it's fair in size. Look at this. It goes on and on and on across Pennsylvania on the edge of the Craton to the east. So when I see that, and we're looking for activity to go to the New Madrid seismic zone, we're looking for 4.0 level activity to take place. This all coming together at the same time looks like it. Striking at the oil and gas pumping operations. Very rare to happen up in the east northeast edge of the Craton up in Pennsylvania. Rare enough that I don't, well, ever recall ever having to look up oil and gas pumping operations in Pennsylvania. Up in Canada, in the far west northwest, all the way up here. Let me get a display capture turned back on so you can see what I see. And now I'm not recording, so whatever. I hit the wrong button. It shut off my live stream. If you're just coming back, guys, it wasn't the government shutting me down. It was me. That was me clicking the X button. So we're going up to Fort St. John, Canada. Eh? All right, let's put it in. Go see exactly what's there. Now, there's been previous earthquakes in this location before, so that's why I even know what's around the spot. But as we zoom in, you'll see out here in the back country of Canada, all these little pads cut out of the ground here. Of course, you've got a town nearby, but I'm talking about these. So we're doing fracking up here in Canada in this case, oil and gas mainly. So gas mainly, I mean, and wastewater injection. And all of these are different oil and gas drill points. Pipelines, tanks, pumps, jacks, the whole bit connect between them. So that's a large pumping operation, and you can even see it from this high up, all these little specks on the ground and how far it goes. So pretty big pumping op, and that's where the earthquake is below the biggest of those bunches right there. There's more to the south. As we go down here, you'll see these. That's what these all are. And all of these. It just goes on and on. I mean, we have a boatload of drilling going on up here. Canada's, you don't even really know much about it. Most people don't talk about how much oil they actually produce. A lot. And gas. So that being said, 4.5 up there, then a swarm down in Texas. I shouldn't even need to show you what's in Texas, going up to near 4.0, 3.7, and then a 2.8 to 3.0 at the pumping operations up in Pennsylvania. That's a lot of drill point moving, but we have not seen the 5.9 in Southern California, and we have not seen a 4.0 on the New Madrid yet. The highest we've gone in the last 2 days since doing my update was in the LA basin. So got the location right, but we are at least a magnitude and a half, almost two magnitudes under what I'm looking for in this location. I'm looking for a mid-range 5 to upper 5 to strike, and instead like a 3 hits at Manhattan Beach, California, literally right off the coast of LA. That's way under what I'm expecting so far. That's good. And it is in the area, though. I mean, look, we're looking from LA all the way down to the border with Mexico, and we're looking for up to 5.9. The rest of the activity is expected. It's a little bit bigger as well. Again, we're going up in magnitude, so we're going up into the 3-ish, near 4.0 range in Texas. And we're going up in Canada, and we went certainly up on the East Coast. In my last update, I talked about the lack of earthquakes on the East Coast. Now the East Coast has been filled in with a 2.8, and that is directly next to a pumping operation, as I just showed you, before I foolishly, accidentally hit the off button. Down south in the Southwest Pacific, take a look at this. In between Point Nemo and the south tip of the plate, or the north tip of Antarctica, multiple 5s breaking out. There has to be some undersea segment there which has erupted. There's volcanoes there all along the undersea segment. It would be an undersea eruption. It wouldn't be a huge blast. I'm talking about like there's an actual plate boundary fracture zone there as well. So you would expect there to be volcanism along with that. But when I see something like this in a rare location that doesn't normally get hit, have to pay attention that there could be undersea eruptive activity along the plate boundary there, as the plate boundary is clearly shifting over the past several days. That's been the theme of my update when I did my update 2 days ago, was to talk about the Indo-Australian plate going out to Point Nemo, which is just out to here where the reddish colored earthquake is. And now we're breaking next to it on the plate boundary. Okay, the whole plate boundary is shifting. We already knew this, and we're looking for this to go up in magnitude in the next few days. Anything else going on with the going up in magnitude thing? Well, we have new deep earthquakes, which are also popping off in the last 2 days, looking like 2 antennas sticking high off the West Pacific. Multiple new deep 4s taking place here. And whenever we see multiple deep earthquakes, whether they're 4s or 5s, whenever you see multiples, that usually means the area in between them is getting ready to do something bigger. And in this case, in between them, almost exactly in the middle, in between them, another deep earthquake, but not as deep, about half as deep as the others. This one is down at 253 kilometers deep, so I do consider it a deep earthquake. Anything under or over 200 kilometers deep, I consider it a deep earthquake, quote unquote. So in between them, we have a deep 5 with deep 4s on either side. So basically, from Fiji and Tonga all the way over to Indonesia, with the center being at the Solomon Islands, Solomon Sea, just east of Papua New Guinea, that is the spot to watch. That's where the warning's been issued for, to the east of there, by the way, right in here, for us to go up to near 7.0 in the next few days. It's been 2 days. We have 5 more days to go in the watch. Same for Japan. We're 2 days in on Japan, and Tokyo got hit right off the coast, south of Tokyo, 4.9 to 5. Now, I'm looking for this to be the next step up, looking for this to go up into the 6 range. We are 1 magnitude off right now. Just took a step back up. Tokyo, it's been a while since it's been hit, and we're just south of Tokyo itself. Tokyo is in the green here, and we're just south of there on the plate boundary. Now, it normally gets hit with 5s. We expect it to get hit with 5s on at least every other week. So in this case, I'm looking for it to go up to 6.5. We got a little bit to go, but we're 2 days in on the 5-day watch. Taiwan got hit by near 6.0 level activity. I mean, it's proof that we're going up in the region. When I got on and did my update before, here they are. They're marked in red, 5 and 5.2.
So we went up from low end fives to upper fives just to the south of Japan. Then we took a step up next to Tokyo, and of course, going up the coast, you can see all the fours spreading all the way up to Hokkaido. Across Siberia, Russia, 4.7 earthquake striking there. This is all since doing my last update. Here's the last update's worth, and here's the current going across. 48 hours, here's 48 hours. So, wouldn't you say it's been somewhat quiet across Asia, quiet across Europe in the last 48 hours? It certainly has. From doing my update, I'm looking for this to take the next step up. And we just took a complete silent break, if you want to call it that, across all of Asia and all of Europe in the last day and a half. I don't like seeing it all go quiet. We want to see multiple smaller earthquakes, fours and maybe even fives, spread out across plate boundaries over the course of days. And if you don't see that, usually it means it's getting ready to build up into something larger. And then we look back 2 days to my forecast and what we're looking for. We're looking for a 5.9 to 6.0 earthquake to strike here at the Nepal India border region. We're also looking for a 5.9 to near 6, upper 5 to low 6, to strike at the Iran Pakistan border region. Then we are also looking for 6.0 level activity to strike here in the Aegean Sea. So it's really like three sets of sixes or upper fives to sixes going back to 6.5 at Japan. We're also looking for a 6 to strike at Sumatra, Indonesia. So right now we're 2 days in, and so far we're just at fives. We're looking for it to go the next step up. Same for in the USA. Right now we're looking for this to go up to 5.9 to near 6, upper 5 to low 6 in Southern California. So far it's way under. That's good. And for the New Madrid seismic zone, we're looking for 4.0 level activity, and that hasn't happened at all. Instead, we have like nothing reported there. Instead, the wave is going up the East Coast. That was a feature in my update 2 days ago. I talked about watching, and we want to see the earthquakes go up the East Coast, up to the Northeast, heading up towards Quebec. And that's a sign of the wave going across the plate. When it gets stuck in the plate, that's when I start to worry, as I told you 2 days ago. So seeing it go up to the Northeast is good news. What else is going on? Hawaii. Well, the eruption in Hawaii carries on. I've been watching the eruption at Kilauea. It just keeps on going and going and going and going and going. I guess it'll just keep going until it doesn't go anymore. There's no way to know how long this eruption is going to take place, this particular one. But I mean, it has been the longest thing ever, and it's just an impressive thing every single time. Go check it out on Two Pineapples channel and or Doing Hawaii's channel. They both are covering it, and they have live views from the USGS on the volcano. Now, seismically speaking, in Hawaii, we're looking just like the rest of the plate. We're looking for it to go to the next magnitude up. So in this case, it would go up to 4.5. And I hope I got that right. 4.5 would then strike in between our current sets of earthquakes. We have to take the 3.5 up the northwest into account. That means Mauna Loa would just be the general center of where we're going to watch. I mean, I'm trying to get it to 200 miles, and that's pretty much the whole island. So 4.5, center of the island, most likely. And the Caribbean. Now let's talk about this. So we started to move down here northeast of Dominican Republic or northwest of Puerto Rico. There we go. See that? With the biggest of the cluster being at the center at Puerto Rico. But look, a new deeper earthquake down below on the plate boundary. Now I know it's just a 3.4, but anything deep there is worth paying attention to. We hardly ever see it. Now there's volcanoes just to the east. Just to the east, all of these are volcanoes across the Caribbean. In case you didn't know, the Caribbean is just nothing but ancient and current volcanoes. Let me show them to you. Take a look at the screen on Google Earth. Every red place mark is a current volcano marked from the Smithsonian. There we go. Here's Saba, for instance. And you see there's a whole chain of them that goes down, down, and around. And I don't know why they're not marked up here across Puerto Rico and Dominican Republic. But don't fool yourself. These are volcanic as well. They just don't have them marked from the Smithsonian for some reason. So that they do have all these marked over on the east side of the Caribbean, but come on. It doesn't just stop right here. That is a kind of misrepresentation of what volcanoes really are. If they're trying to show that that's the volcanoes, that just doesn't make sense. Anyway, you guys can go look it up if you want to. Deep earthquake there means something's going on down below. I'd watch the volcanoes and I'd watch for seismic. On the seismic, we would go the next magnitude up, which would be as high as, hold on. When did that just hit? Hold on. Did that just hit today? We're going to go the next magnitude up. So that would be up to 5.4. Look, when it comes to fives at Puerto Rico, if it strikes off the coast, it's not a big deal. If it strikes on land, then it's a big deal because of the construction. So when I say Puerto Rico, it really is in between Dominican Republic and Puerto Rico we have to watch for the 5.4 to strike. Next magnitude up is where it's going to go across the board, I think. If anything changes, I'll jump back on at a moment's notice and do another update, tell you what's going on. But we just went from nothing at Tokyo to 5 point something. We went from nothing at Taiwan to 5.9. And we went from nothing on the east coast of the US up to 2.8. So that is a step up, but I'm not seeing the sixes yet, and that's good. If I'm wrong, I'll have to completely cancel the warning and try to figure out where I got it wrong. But we're only 2 days in. Solar, I have not checked the solar activity at all, and I know I'm not recording. No, sorry. No, not recording right now, but we will record at some point and put it on YouTube. Maybe I'll get back on at a moment's notice later on tonight and give you guys a little heads up that I'm going to do it and record then. This is just a brief update to bring you up to speed. You have to be on my live stream to catch this kind of stuff. I'm sure some people record it and put it on YouTube. Drinking my coffee, and I'm going to sit back and watch and see what happens over the next couple of hours. It's got this vibe, no pun intended, got this vibe that we're going to be talking about large earthquake activity pretty soon here. So we'll see. I hope I'm wrong. But man, it's been a minute. When was the last time there was a really large earthquake anywhere, really? If you think about it. I mean, there's been sixes, there's been some over in Europe, maybe there's been a few overseas and like many months ago. But when it comes to large earthquake activity, I'm not saying I want to see it, but it's like, where is it? It feels like we're on the cusp of it. It's been due for a long time, the larger earthquake activity, and sure seems like God's been watching out for us. Oh, anyway, yeah, right? Yeah, yeah, it's been months since there's been any huge activity, and that's somewhat abnormal, actually. And normal is that there's some large earthquake activity every few months. And when we go many months without huge earthquake activity, it really starts to make you wonder where the energy is building and how big is it going to be. It's kind of like the quiet before the storm, the calm before the storm. All right, much love. Thanks for sticking with me. Sorry I hit the off button on accident. And I will record at some point tonight so that the people on YouTube can also get up to speed. I mean, I don't want people to have to come over to the live stream to wait for me to come on. So there are people that have to go do things in their life and they, can't come and check my live stream. All right, so I get it. I get it. There are people that are waiting for me. I need to show up there too. Half my audience here comes from there, and half the audience there comes from who knows where everybody comes from now. I was talking to some Zoomer kid today, and she said, she's like in her teens, probably 14, 15, 16, something like that. It was in the family. And on the wife's side, so it's like my niece on the wife's side. And I was like, "Oh, what do you watch on YouTube?" And she was like, "Oh, I don't really watch YouTube. I don't watch YouTube." And I'm like, "Oh, what do you watch?" She's like, "TikTok." I'm like, "Oh, YouTube's for older people." Right? TikTok, 2 minute this and that, 10 minute this and that. Where are the hour-long dissertations on TikTok? They just don't exist. Good luck doing what I do in a few minutes on TikTok. You'd have to be talking at a mile a minute. Yeah, right. TikTok, geez. Yeah, people are going to need to move away from that back to long form video watching because that's where it's at. Long form video watching is where it's at. Live streams are where it's at. TikTok is for kids and for people who have short attention spans. Well, I shouldn't say that. They allow long length videos now on TikTok, so it's not entirely bad. I'm biased. I'm old man biased. Now, maybe we could do some music. I know, right? If you didn't catch the update, I will do another update and record it. I promise. I promise I will get it out of the way soon. We'll get it out of the way. Yeah, we'll record it. Don't worry. Dinna fash. Dinna fash, Sussanick. You don't even know what that means. Never mind. Do you speak Scottish? If you speak Scottish, then you'll understand what I just said. All right. Yeah, enjoy that. Peace out, guys. Much love. I'll be back. I'm here, but I'll be back and do a voice update in a little bit.